Hello, my amazing people. Good afternoon, and welcome back again. If you're turning into the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. So, my returning subscribers, thank you all. You guys are the best. My new subscribers, God bless you. Seriously, I'll be telling you guys that South Africa is one of the best country in Africa as a whole. You see South Africa, you see Ghana. That two country is top notch. As in air, there is no other country that is competing with them. South Africa, a lot of people have been sharing their experience, have been saying a lot of good things about South Africa. I cannot just keep it myself. Seriously, I wish I'm from South Africa. Just watch out this clip of video and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. South Africa and Ghana to the world. Oh, let's get started.
My favorite thing about South Africa as a non-South African is political liberty. Yo, South Africa has got to be one of the few countries that has not a hint of fascism in its political landscape. And this is something that not even all the countries in the West, not even Australia has. South Africa has absolutely zero oppression of, or separation really, of any political opposition. And oppression and suppression of political opposition is one of the main characteristics of fascism. You know, everybody has the right to vote and to use their voice to advocate for themselves with their vote, and failing to respect that, having a society that will take away your livelihood just for who you decide to vote for is fascist. And I'm so glad that there is no such thing in the South African political landscape. Like, ain't nobody's getting cancelled for voting for Ramaphosa type vibes. That is democracy and liberty that a lot of these countries who claim to be liberated don't have, including the US, including Canada, including Australia. There is oppression of any political opposition. Like, there's so many cases in the West where you become
opinion as a foreigner visiting South Africa for the first time. Oh, by the way, my name is Sami. I visited 30 plus countries. I'm on a trip all around the world, and I lived in Australia, China, Morocco, Mexico, you name it. Honestly, I really loved South African people. I think that they are extremely polite. I feel like South African people are a higher level of politeness. Like, how are you? They expect an answer, which is not the case for Australian people and American people who just say, how are you, like this, and they don't expect an answer, right? So as a French person, for me, it's really nice because as a French person, I also expect an answer if I ask this question. So whenever a South African person said, how are you? I answer, I'm fine, how about you? And then they say, I'm fine. And then they do a conversation, right? And it's all good, right? So I thought this was extremely heartwarming and I really liked it. I also liked how helpful the South African people in general are. And this is very nice, right? The country itself, I mean, obviously is beautiful. Like, I mean, you are in the realm of the kingdom of the Lion King, right? So I spent many days in the savannah. I saw many animals. We were with a ranger her name was Lisa, by the way, and she was extremely professional, and she knew everything there is to know about these animals and about how to get them. We saw a rhino. I mean, it's an endangered species. I did not know, by the way, that there were that many elephants in South Africa. I thought we were going to see one elephant at 5 in the morning and that was going to be it. But no. There are elephants everywhere. Hippos, giraffes, elephants everywhere. Once we were by a river and I counted 75 elephants. And that was just that one time by the river, which was like, 10 minutes a stop in a whole day ride in the South African countryside in the savannah, right? The food was very good, but my opinion does not count because we were in hotels that had all inclusive, and the hotel, the chef, we even met the chef. He was from South Africa, obviously, right? And the food was very good, but it was only that restaurant all the time, right? However, the food itself was made of ingredients from South Africa. For instance, I had springbok carpaccio, that's delicious. I had crocodile carpaccio, sashimi crocodile, that was delicious. I had ostrich carpaccio, that was delicious. I had kudu, kudu cooked a little bit in a French way, I would say, right? That was really delicious. So I had many things that are typically South African, just like malula tree, the fruits sort of jelly, right? On scones, on British scones, right? Like, I mean, that was good. Like for breakfast, that's good. Now, the only thing that at some point made me feel a teensy tiny bit uncomfortable is when I made people feel uncomfortable, because we were on the ride with the same people all the time. So there were us and two British people and two people, South African people, Afrikaans people from Western Cape, and retired Afrikaans people from Western Cape. Very nice people, no problem. However, the British people and us, we talked about everything that European people talk about, right? And that made the Afrikaans people a little bit uncomfortable, because we tend to talk about, for instance, I talk about my DNA test. You can go to my channel. I made a video about it, right? Because I am indeed 4% South African myself, 4%, right? And from, the Kruger Park area. So like, I was like, it was, coming back home for me. Every time I said that to anyone, they would say, oh, welcome back home, right? So I am indeed 4%. From the area, and we were talking about this, and then we started talking about the history of South Africa and everything, and the way it made the other people uncomfortable, then boomerang towards me and made me uncomfortable, in the sense that I felt like this was a topic that was brushed under the carpet. And in South Africa in general, I feel like there are lots of unfinished sentences. I feel like there are lots of innuendos and a lot of brushing under the carpet, basically, right? Of things that happened before 1992, and even of things that happened after 1992. So when you are a European person, or even an American person, or Australian person, coming from countries where these problems do exist as well. Racism is not only in South Africa, right? But there was segregation in the United States up until 1960 something, and then the White Australia policy down under, right? So it's not like it's only in South Africa. It's just that nowadays these are things that are talked about. It's like a psychotherapy of the whole people, and then therefore it's talked about. Like, for instance, nowadays in Australia, every time, random thing, every time there is a TV program, the TV program, if it involves even mentioning people who are dead, it will say at the beginning, because Aboriginal people from Australia cannot talk about people who are dead, right? So if that hurts their sensitivity, the TV program would say, if you are sensitive to that, don't watch it. It says that at the beginning, right? Or, for instance, if you take Qantas Airways, a flight from, let's say, Melbourne to Perth, it will say at the beginning of the flight attendant will say, we acknowledge the custodian of the land over which we fly. The custodians of the land over which they fly are all the different kinds of Aboriginal people who are the custodians of the land of Australia, and been recognized as so.
I have been in South Africa for a whole month now, and here are 3 of the best and 3 of the worst things about the country as somebody from the UK. The first and most important thing is the landscapes and the weather. The weather is brilliant here. And it's not like other countries like Thailand, where it is absolutely humid, super boiling, and not even sunny. Here it's kind of windy, so you get that breeze, and it is also warm. So you kind of get this counterbalance where you're not too hot or too cold. Number 2, the people are absolutely lovely. There's about 4 main ethnic groups here in South Africa, and they are all so welcoming. It's not the case in all places. Sometimes you'll naturally be assumed as a certain way because of your skin color, but here I feel like 99% of the time interactions are extremely positive to let one another know that you're safe and you're a good person. Benefit number 3, apart from the actual flights that you have to buy, everything is pretty cheap, and to top this, basically everybody speaks English, so you can communicate with everybody, and it's extremely cheap to live here compared to your USAs, your Australias, your Englands. So yeah, you've got everybody speaking the same language in a much cheaper environment, and quite a nice environment too. My 3 negatives. The first one is Uber drivers. Whilst Uber here is actually really cheap, and some of the Uber drivers are absolute legends, there are a lot of people that I am questioning if they've ever been on a road before. Drivers will be on their phones, they'll speed, they'll do literally everything illegal, and they just be unbothered. They'll literally ask me where I'm going. The guy yesterday, who was meant to pick me up, went past me twice and asked me to navigate him back to Hout Bay. My second negative is one that has become quite common and I've gotten used to it, but you do get a lot of people ringing on the doors, asking for food, even asking for beer, cigarettes, random things like that. And it does come quite irritable because it is the same people, and usually they're doing the exact same circle over and over again to try and get as much as they can from you. And the third negative, it's not that deep actually, but it is quite annoying considering how beautiful this country is, but the ocean is bloody freezing. Especially in Cape Town, we're on the Western Cape, so we have that Atlantic Ocean and it is absolutely freezing. So those are my 3 positives and my 3 negatives about South Africa. I really enjoyed this country. I really recommend you come here if you get the chance. I have been in South Africa for a whole month now, and here are 3 of the best and 3 of the worst things about the country as somebody from the UK. The first and most important thing is the landscapes and the weather. The weather is brilliant here. And it's not like other countries like Thailand where it is absolutely humid, super boiling and not even sunny. Here it's kind of windy, so you get that breeze, and it is also warm. So you kind of get this counterbalance where you're not too hot or too cold. Number 2, the people are absolutely lovely. There's about 4 main ethnic groups here in South Africa.
So last year I came to South Africa for 3 months, and I've just got back and it's reminded me of all the things I love about South Africans, so I've made a list. So first of all, we have the accent, of course, my favourite accent in the entire world. I could listen to them speak all day. Next is their use of the word fetch. Now, fetching means that they'll pick you up. It doesn't matter if you're an hour away, they will come and pick you up. Another word they use so much is now. So when they say, I'll see you now, that means they'll see you in a minute. But then when they say, I'll see you now, you would think that that would mean that they would see you right in this moment. And I always thought is right in this present moment. That's what now meant. But actually, now, the double now, actually means less now than now. No matter where you are, you will get invited to a braai, which is basically a barbecue, but so much better. You honestly could have met them 2 minutes ago and they will probably invite you to their family braai happening next week. They're always complaining about long lines outside clubs, but they will always wait in them. Whenever they drop you home, they will never leave until they see you physically get through.
About being South African. What a question. Very interesting question indeed. And I think this is a question you're probably not serious when you're asking this. You're probably just asking it because you want someone to give you an answer, and I'll give you an answer. Being South African is so beautiful because we're from a country of people who are resilient. When we're unhappy about something, we actually stand up for it and we fight for it. We don't rush to other people's countries to flock there. We know how to exercise our democracy when it's time to exercise our democracy. And when it's time to stand together as South Africans, no matter how many differences we can have 50,000 different races. But when it's time to defend South Africa, South Africans will come through. Of course, we are different, and we know that there are South Africans who always throw us under the bus because they want to sound woke. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, it doesn't take anything from the majority of South Africans. South Africa is rated as one of the most beautiful countries in the world. South Africa's economy is mentioned amongst the best in the world. South Africa has produced the richest man in the world. South Africa, in terms of sports, is one of the biggest sporting countries in the world. In terms of music, South Africa is one of the biggest music countries in the world. In terms of producing actors and actresses that take over the global stage, South Africa is trusted with doing that. In terms of being able to create a system that has the best education in the world, South Africa is trusted with doing that. That's why we'll have all kinds of countries come and have exchange with South Africa to come here and study and so forth, because we're South Africa. I mean, South Africa has some of the most beautiful women in the world. South Africa has some of the strongest men in the world who know what it's like to wake up every morning and work hard.
South Africa is ranked as one of the best travel destinations in the world. That is South Africa. South Africa has some of the highest rankings in all the beauty pageants in the world. Miss World, Miss Universe, South Africa is there. South Africa is multi-diverse, and even through our diversity, one thing that will unite us is the fact that we're South African. So everything put aside, we will fight with each other, we will scrape each other, but when it's time to stand up for South Africa, we stand up for South Africa. It's just a pity that we've got a democracy that allows people to come to South Africa and do as the people wish, because I mean, we're a country that's been too friendly, too kind, and too welcoming to people, to the point that they felt that they're entitled to certain things that belong to South Africans. And when South Africans finally decided that it's time for us now to stand up for what is ours,